Since the beginning of Breath of the Wild, there have been glitches. Most are pretty small, simple ones that people find as they uncover more of the game. But other times, you watch as someone does a multitude of random things that doesn't make sense that does something spectacular, and you wonder, how did this guy figure this out? Well, it's almost always a group effort, not just a single person. And even in cases where a glitch was found by one or two people, it was often because of previous discoveries that were found by even more people. These players share their finds through Discord, YouTube, Twitter, and Reddit from all over the world in an international effort. One of the most famous examples of this happening is the difficult memory storage, a complex, game-breaking glitch starting a new file with the all-powerful Bow of Light and all of your equipment right off the bat in a brand new game, including the paraglider, which lets you skip the Great Plateau immediately. So how did this come to be? How did this extremely complex sequence get discovered? Let's break down the long history of memory storage. Let's first quickly explain what it takes to let you walk around scot-free with the Bow of Light. To do this glitch, you need to have a cooking pot, a travel medallion, a camera, a compendium entry, a Sheikah Sensor Plus, a side quest, and a memory used together in a very specific way, then load a file and watch a memory at the same time, then die, then start a new game, beat it without ever dying, then watch a memory again, complete the game, continue an old file, which starts a new game instead, then load another file again. Yeah, it's a lot. This, in a very simplified manner, is what it takes to perform this glitch. The next question would then be, how did people figure this out? It absolutely makes no sense when said in a list like this, but there's a method to the madness. Let's see how it started. Memory storage was found officially in December of 2020, almost 4 years after the initial release of Breath of the Wild, making waves throughout the community. But almost no one knows that its origin was actually found 3 months after Breath of the Wild released. Back in June 24th of 2017, a speedrunner named Blue Harvey found something strange while casually playing. He wanted to continue his file in the Cryonis Shrine, and upon pressing continue,
it works! It f***ing works!
The game instead started a brand new file, instead of loading the previous save.
How does this work? How? What?
But not just any new file. This file carried over all of his progress from the previous file, such as the doors of the Shrine of Resurrection already being opened. And this is the beginning of the new concept of transfers. This transfer, known today as flag transfer, carries over your game progress but not your equipment, while inventory transfer carries over your equipment but not your progress. While this was only flag transfer, it was still a massive find, with huge potential that could lead to a new Game Plus file and other glitches in the future. This was only possible because the glitch blocked autosaves from occurring. But as fast as it came, in version 1.3, it was patched. 6 days later, Breath of the Wild was in its heyday, with the release of the first exciting DLC called the Master Trials. 1.3 included the difficult trials for the fully powered Master Sword, and various fixes to improve gameplay. One of these fixes was a new return to title button, and some fixes under the hood to make sure the game would always guarantee an autosave at the beginning of the game. While it's highly probable that Nintendo didn't even know about this game-breaking glitch, they had inadvertently smothered this discovery without ever knowing. This glitch was lost forever, with no way to stop autosaves from occurring right at the beginning of the game, and was slowly forgotten in time. Fast forward 3 years later, on December 10th, 2020, whispers of a weird glitch started to get uploaded to Twitter by a Japanese user named Shimabaka, catching American player Legend of Link's attention. While to the average player this looks like a bunch of menu nonsense, what's actually happening here is the discovery of being able to hold different prompts in different situations outside of where they are normally supposed to be, such as with the item menu or with champion abilities. As both of these players bounced around ideas of new ways to hold menu prompts, the conversation moved to Discord, where several people joined the discussion and theory crafting, including user Keynok, who was experimenting with this as well. Without getting too complicated, using things such as the Sheikah sensor, the cooking pot, the travel medallion, and pictures, they could delay and manipulate multiple menus at the same time. The most interesting prompt though was the memory prompt, as it had more promising outcomes than the other menus, so they pushed it more and more, with the DLC button, with the options menu, and with loading files. Legend of Link and Keynok continued to mess with file loading, but most finds ended with nothing concrete, only soft locks such as being stuck on this black screen or staring at a Korok forever. But Keenock finally noticed that in the state of watching a memory, then loading a save, anything after it will never autosave. He wanted to take this technique into the title screen and see what he could do. So he killed himself, then he went to the title screen and started up a new game. But something strange occurred. When he was able to play again, the game still never autosaved. This is when Legend of Link immediately saw the potential of Blue Harvey's legacy 3 years earlier. So on December 14th, 2020, he connected a Wii U trainer to hack the Wii U to do more testing easily and went to work. Having experience in this field messing with file loading glitches before, he knew what he was doing, and used hacks to speed up the process of moving to each place, and only tried to replicate what you could normally do on a regular Switch. Since he knew the game couldn't save as you progressed, the next logical thing to do was to enable saving at the very last possible time you could, which was during the Dark Beast Ganon fight. After he did so, he continued the game and started up a fresh file. But besides the wall textures not loading, nothing in particular was abnormal, until he saw a curious game finish star on his file. He loaded up that save instead, and successfully performed the first inventory transfer using memory storage in history, transferring all of his items from his previous file onto a brand new game. Unfortunately, this didn't have the Bow of Light, but theorized that having it equipped in his hands as you beat the game deletes it from your inventory. So he tried one more time with cheese to speed up the process, and yes, this was big. News spread of having the powerful Bow of Light permanently and a New Game Plus was discovered. Players flocked back to the game, spending countless hours experimenting further and further, pushing the game more after this iconic glitch, only to find that this was just the beginning of the craziness, as this led to things such as duplicating Colosseum Lionels and Spirit Orbs, getting absolutely absurd amounts of arrows, which could be chained multiple times to get all of your arrows to ludicrous amounts, and even getting the ultimate Hylian shield, with both max durability and shield strength. Every glitch in every game has its own story and lineage, some based on luck, some based on knowledge and skill, but one thing is for certain: as long as players are looking, new and exciting things will continue to be found. If you enjoyed this video, let us know with a like, as we still cover the never-ending game of Breath of the Wild to this day. And for everything else gaming, keep it here on GameSpot.